Oh, I don't know this is what I think. This is what I need this morning. Take it away. Never give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender. You heard it. WCRS. We will never give up. Never surrender. Keep listening right here on WCRS. We try harder because we will never give up. We will never surrender. Yes, that's true. I needed that little upper to get me going here today. You know, when you have so much work, you just can't figure out which thing is the most important thing to do. So I ascribe to a policy we always had when we had sharp facets. Follow the money. Follow the money in, get the billings done, follow the money. So I follow the money. That's right. That's number one, we get done. Whatever else we get done, we get done. But, with Penny, with Princess Penny, I just got to say this. We go outside, we come back in. We go outside, we play Frisbee, and, she's gotten so amazing with her Frisbee talents. It's just unbelievable. That, plus we've learned the command HERE, and she does a really good job with that one, so that's been a good thing. But it never ends. It never ends. And then while she's over there sleeping, I'm working, doing this, that, and the other. And then she gets up like, well, how are you going to entertain me now? Can't you do something now to entertain me? I know how my parents used to feel. I'm just so bored. Can we have something to do? Yes. That's the life of Penny. She's bored, and then she'll bring a toy in and put it on my lap like, go ahead, throw it for me, and then we go through all that. But anyways, yes, Penny is, as I said, we're trying to teach her to be a princess. It's a difficult process when you've been a wild child. It really is quite a great story. I think I may have to write a book out of that. Anyways, we are here this morning. I'm Ann Eller. We are live on Facebook now, WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. And of course, you can always watch the shows afterwards. To watch them after they've been up that day. By that evening, we usually have the Facebook post, the live video up on the website. So if you're not a Facebooker, but you want to check out what we're doing live on Facebook, you can definitely go back there. One of the things a lot of people like is it is much quicker than posting our podcast. So we just take that and slap it up there on the website, WCRS 1450 AM, and it is there. So check that out if you miss a show or you want to find out what I was talking about. For those that are joining us, 2 meetings coming up. City Council meeting at 5:30 today, and Greenwood District 50's first board meeting with their new superintendent, Shane Goodwin. This also comes down at a time when they have a lot of question about this pass for football. So we'll see how that does here. Okay, so we will talk some more about that, but check that out this afternoon, 6:15 for the school district. Go to their website and then if you want to watch it, go to their website and then look for the tab on meetings, and there'll be a link right there. As far as City Council, that is, they do it directly off their Facebook page. They do a Facebook Live, just like what we're doing right here from City of Greenwood, SC. So check that out. All right, so what do we got going on here? Well, I wanted to talk about, because I was looking to see if my name was on the list. Yeah, right, Ann. My name was not on the list of the richest people, Forbes' new richest people in the nation. That's right. However, Forbes names the richest person for each state in the new roundup. Plus, whose is South Carolina's wealthiest resident? Wouldn't you just love to be known as the wealthiest resident in South Carolina? Bet that'll get you a lot of people asking for money, right? Yes. Anyways, Robert Faith, founder of Greystar and South Carolina's richest resident in 2025 with a net worth of $5 billion. Elon Musk remains the richest resident in Texas, residing in Texas, but he is the wealthiest person with a worth of $388 billion. How about that? That's pretty huge. Okay, so that is that as far as that goes. It says the 54 entrepreneurs, investors, and heirs on the 2025 ranking, including ties, are worth a record $2 trillion combined, up $400 billion since last year, said Forbes. So so they've got two South Carolina residents appear on the Forbes billionaire list. One of them was Anita Zucker of Charleston, the current CEO of chemical manufacturer Intertech Group, founded by her late husband Jerry Zucker in 1982. Robert Faith, founder and chairman and CEO of the global real estate firm Greystar, was next on the list. So those are the two from South Carolina. By God, we got a couple on there. Anyways, by the way, Faith, who is South Carolina's richest resident, net worth is down from last year when it was $5.8 billion. 2 years before, his net worth was $5.2. This year, $5 billion. I guess you'll survive. I guess he will survive. All right. So, also, did you know, I did not know this, did you know that Rolls-Royce is going to invest $75 million in an Aiken facility with 434 full-time jobs coming to South Carolina? I did not know that. Of course, it just was announced on Friday, I guess, so that's not unusual. Try it. Rolls-Royce announced on July 16th that it would invest $75 million in its Aiken, South Carolina engine plant for production of the Stu Series 4000. The investment will create 60 jobs, introduce in-country machining capabilities. They also invest $100 million in American facilities to support the growth of the data industry and the need for a resilient U.S. power. So Rolls-Royce expansion in South Aiken County further positions South Carolina as a leader in advanced manufacturing. This investment and the 60 jobs it will bring represent a big win for the community, and we're proud of the success Rolls-Royce has found in our state. Isn't it interesting that they're in Aiken, South Carolina, with the horse country and everything else, and that's where Rolls-Royce decides to put a factory, or add to their factory, I guess. So 60 new jobs with a total of 434 full-time positions. So for that investment, will have a total of 434, 60 new jobs. But still, that is terrific. So they are expected to, it says, phase one, grow existing manufacturing footprint by 37,000 square feet. Construction is scheduled to begin in quarter one of 2026, with production expected to commence in July of 2027. How about that? They have a state-of-the-art production capabilities on their campus, engine testing facility, a research and development center, 4 large engine test stands. That is pretty cool. Rolls-Royce. Unlike Jaguar, which is not doing too well, particularly since they went with their kind of odd commercials that they were trying to attract people to be part of. Yes, they have definitely reduced the size of their footprint, although most of theirs, I believe, is in England. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller right here with you this morning. We got a lot of stuff to get to this morning. 864-229-7984, 864-229-7984. You know, we have 3 Republicans vying for the governor's position. We have Pamela Evett, Lieutenant Governor for the great state of South Carolina. We have Alan Wilson, Attorney General for the great state of South Carolina. And we have Josh Kimbrell, who is had a little problem. A lawsuit has been filed by Frank Rogers, and it has to do with diversion of over $2 million in Exodus aircraft funds through a series of complex transactions. And they funneled the money according to the lawsuit. Now, none of this has been proven, so this is just the allegation. Funneled the money into Kimbrell's personal PayPal account and his wife's accounts, despite her having no stake in the company. So, deposit client checks to a newly formed entity, Exodus Airways, intended to mimic Exodus aircraft through a bank connection with a friendly banker. Forge Rogers' signature and secure business loans using falsified documentation. This is huge, if any of it. Now, this is all alleged. It says financial control. Though Kimbrell resigned as manager, he's alleged to still dominate the company's finances. Rogers seeks a restraining order and recovery of missing funds, fearing Exodus aircraft's collapse. Now, that is Rogers, which I believe was his partner. Well, finally, we have a public response from Kimbrell. Yes, we do. Described the suit as a regrettable, uncorroborated case of lawfare from a disgruntled, absent business partner. He stated confidence that the facts will come to light, leading to a full vindication. And he says there's no court answer or formal response has been filed yet. His campaign has not supplied additional specifics, and Kimbrell hasn't directly answered follow-up requests. However, he has said a regrettable, uncorroborated case of lawfare from a disgruntled, absent business partner. If then just to discuss what the ramifications of this, if fraud or account misappropriation is proven, Kimbrell could face severe civil penalties and even criminal exposure. Rogers, who was his partner, I believe, is pushing for an emergency injunction to freeze Exodus's bank accounts to stop further fund transfer. It is interesting, though, as everybody has noted, that this is just after Kimbrell entered the governor's race. Is there some political motivation? That is the question. There will be a court hearing will be scheduled regarding the requested restraining order. Kimbrell has to, of course, respond legally. And the discovery phase could reveal internal account records, borrower forms, and financial statements. The problem with this is that he's going to lose a lot of ground on this, regardless of how this turns out. He's not Donald Trump, just FYI. So maybe he thinks that... maybe he thinks that he can fight this thing. I'm sure he can. But The legal process, of course, is going to unravel in the coming weeks through hearings, motions, and discovery, revealing whether this is orchestrated or substantiated. So that is something here in South Carolina I know a lot of people are going to be looking at. You know, he was a Christian radio host. He hosted Common Sense, a conservative Christian talk show airing on upstate South Carolina's Christian Talk, 92.9 FM. And he used to have a lot of socially conservative viewpoints. His media presence helped establish him as a socially conservative when he entered into politics. And of course, he was first elected in 2020 as to the Senate. And so, interesting, isn't it? Interesting that here in good old South Carolina, we got our own thing going. I just thought I would mention that because we don't know who else is going to jump in. It is suspected who else might jump in, Ralph Norman, because he's a little tired, and I don't know if he would actually make another term up there in the House. He, of course, was a big Nikki Haley supporter. And he always seems to be on the fence on big bills that are like the big, beautiful bill. And then in the end, after having a little TV exposure or whatever, he decides to cave and support the president. So that's Ralph Norman. And is he really looking to retire, or does he really want to be governor? That's another question. He does have an exploratory program going. Now, Nancy Mace, of course, everybody rolls their eyes when we hear, right? Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace, of course, has made a lot of outlandish comments, hasn't she? And she is, we are going to see if she's going to jump in. Again, she has kind of put herself in an awkward position. She was a favorite on Fox News and some of the other news channels to talk, but by some of the things that she said and some of her outlandish things, she has not been seen as much. So will she decide to revive her political life by running for governor? That is the question. Anybody in the House, though, is going to be up for re-election. So if they run, they lose their job if they don't make it. And then they have to go out and find something else to do. So that's another question to consider. So Ralph Norman, Nancy Mace, also Alan Wilson, by throwing his hat in the ring. If he makes it to governor, well, that's great. If he doesn't make it to governor, he will be out of a job and we will have a new attorney general. Pamela Evett, same story. She is the lieutenant governor, and her term will finish up in, 2026. If she makes it to governor, then so be it. If she doesn't, then she'll probably just, I don't know what she'll do. That'll be an interesting question to ask her, although you never have a politician like to be asked, well, if you don't make it, what are you going to do you? Question I like to ask, but, we are going to have Pamela Evett on tomorrow morning, 9:30 in the morning. So Pamela will be coming on, the lieutenant governor. So if you have a question that you wondered the answer, if you would send it to me, I will try to get it in my list of questions for tomorrow morning. She is going to answer my questions. She's always been pretty upfront with them, so we'll see how it goes now that she's running for the governor for the great state of South Carolina. She raised $1 million in 24 hours. She has amassed quite a team to help with surrogates and fundraising. So she is positioned. She is a business person. We'll see how that goes. Alan Wilson, of course, has been Attorney General for, since 2010 maybe? 2010, 2011. We'll have to start comparing these candidates and see who you like. Fortunately, we got a long time because they can't even sign up for their prospective jobs, even though they've put their names in the hat, until March of next year. And that's when they have to actually put their money down and say, yes, I'm in it to win it. So we'll see how it goes. But Pamela Evitt will join us tomorrow morning. All right. What else do we have to talk about here? You know, this thing. Epstein, the gift that keeps on giving. You know, this, I don't know. Some people have said, we're not going to talk about it. Some talk show hosts have said, we're not going to talk about it. There's speculation that Trump has contacted some of them and just said, why don't you just shut up about this and move on? I can see the president doing that, but some have not given it up. I found most interesting, what's his name, Charlie Gasparina, on Media Buzz yesterday. Quite interesting in what he was talking about with him. He actually is the last person to have interviewed Epstein before he died. So from that standpoint, most interesting. But also, this thing that the Wall Street Journal has put out there. Have you heard about this? Well, Ann, unless I live under a rock, I gotta have heard about it. Well, okay. About this this article in the Wall Street Journal says Donald Trump sent a birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein and drew a naked woman, in it. So, this was something that Maxine Goslin put together for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. And the Wall Street Journal article you're looking for, Jeffrey Epstein's friends send him bawdy letters for his 50th birthday album. Well, you know, we are on the air and we just cannot stop. So, they're dropping something off, UPS, at the front door. Okay. So let's get back to the story here. So that was for his 50th birthday album, and supposedly, Epstein's assistant, Maxine, compiled for his 2003 birthday when he was 50, contained a typewritten note signed Donald and a hand-drawn sketch of a nude woman, and which says the note reads like imaginary banter between Trump and Epstein. We have certain things in common. Jeffrey is at the center of a fast-moving defamation fight after Trump called the document a fake and sued the Journal for $10 billion. So this is really heating up. Now, Donald Trump has called for the courts to release the documents, the grand jury stuff. But the question is, number one, they are going to, and is that really going to satisfy the people? I think Pam Bondi needs to go ahead and address this, but she just keeps saying, yep. Now, the president has also told her to release it. The courts have been told to release it by President Donald Trump. But will it get released, and will this satisfy it? You know, the thing that was brought up that I had kind of forgotten, that Donald Trump was president when Jeffrey Epstein was snagged in this web that caused him his life. However, they say he did it. And you know, we have speculated for years that somebody who didn't want to be on that list was in it, and that is why we see that he has that has been tried to stop. But, you know, we talk about all the time about how the Biden administration could have yada, yada, yada. But in truth, this happened under Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. So what is the answer? I don't know. Is there something in there? I don't know. Is it something that is going to dissuade any of the MAGA supporters? No, I don't think so, because even though there is still a lot going on it, it doesn't seem to affect them. So I just wanted to bring that up. This is a story that's probably is probably not going away. Trump's response in the $10 billion lawsuit, he told the paper, "It's not me, this is a fake thing." 2 days later, he sued Dow Jones, which of course is the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch, and the 3 reporters, calling the story malicious fiction. He's also urged the Justice Department to release only selective portions of sealed Epstein grand jury material, further fueling media scrutiny. So where will this end? It's a story that just doesn't seem to end. And it's interesting, though, how long hidden Epstein memorabilia keeps surfacing and why every drip raises new questions about the elite circles he traveled in. Jeffrey, Jeffrey, Jeffrey. What a tangle weave you wove, and how many people got ensnared in it. Is there a little black book? Does somebody have a client list somewhere? Or did he just use his connections to help him make more wealthy? He was a very good advisor, I guess, on making money, stock market, etc. So I think that's a story that's going to keep on giving. And one of my texters here just said they should release everything that they have, get it out of the way. This is not going away. I know, but I don't know if they actually will release it. I don't know what the hesitation is. It's a story that keeps on giving. And then, of course, over the weekend, okay, so we got that story simmering on a pot over there. Then what about this thing, what Tulsi Gabbard dropped as a bombshell? I think this is pretty interesting. She says that they now have proof through her, DNI observation position, that she has the ability to say, has brought forward classified documents that she says expose an orchestrated attempt by the Obama administration to frame Trump through a false Russia narrative. She's calling for prosecutions. Trump supports her, and critics argue she's rewriting history and downplaying Russia's real interference. This is a story that definitely, if you have a suspicious mind, such as me, you have to wonder. I mean, let's just be the way we are. You have to wonder, is it not amazing that Tulsi Gabbard, who appeared to be on the way out, she wasn't at a lot of the signing events, she hasn't been right there as one of Trump's favorites and everything, and she made some comments about Iran and how quickly they would be able to have a nuclear bomb, saying that it wasn't as close as what everybody else said. Well, now, don't you find it interesting that she's gone back to her office and she goes, I gotta redeem myself. What can I do to redeem myself? I know. I'll go back and try to see if I can find that connection between Obama and the Russia hoax. Well, she says she has found it. She declassified a document calling it the Russia hoax that includes over 100 pages of documents suggesting that the Obama administration knew there was no evidence of Russian cyber attacks affecting the 2000 election outcome, yet still pushed a narrative implying collusion. She went further, accusing former President Barack Obama and his national security team, Brennan and all those people, of orchestrating and Comey a treasonous conspiracy, effectively a coup intended to delegitimize Donald Trump's 2016 win through false intelligence campaigns. She has referred the matter to the DOJ, urging Attorney General Bondi and the FBI Director Patel to bring criminal charges against Obama-era officials, including John Brennan, James Clapper, remember that one, Andre McCabe, and others. So, and then it says, Donald Trump enthusiastically supported Gabbard's release, calling it an unequivocal expose of thugs. So that is what is happening on that end. Does anybody see how interesting this is? Epstein and Russian hoax and Epstein. Gabbard is winding her way back into a position of positiveness and may hold on to her job because of what she discovered on the Russian hoax. Jeffrey Epstein, who knows whose head's going to roll on that one. People have said for a long time Pam Bondi is in a little bit of trouble over that. I just don't understand the Pam Bondi thing. I really don't. If she didn't know what was in the files, she should have just said, the files have made it to my desk. I haven't even opened it yet to know what's inside. But instead, she claimed that there was a lot of information and was going to be exposed. And yet we wait. But this thing with Tulsi Gabbard is probably the most brilliant, and I mean brilliant, for trying to change the focus away from Epstein. Although I don't think there's anything that can change the focus against Epstein. Do you? I don't think so. So I just thought I would mention that here this morning. We still have Ukraine breaking live coverage. They still are fighting. The war in Ukraine is not tamping down. It looks like Russia has decided, even though they have 50 days, well, they must be down to about 45. They certainly are saying, what? They're saying what? Oh, my God. Oh, we got to get this war won. 45 days and counting, folks, before Trump decides to do something. Anyways, that's some of the news out there. Also, there is still some fighting going on, even though a lot of it has been tamped down. Israel, Gaza, there still is some fighting there. I think that Trump has been a little surprised, truthfully, about how hard it has been to try and stop these wars. I think he thought, and I can remember him saying, oh, sure, first week we'll have these things closed down. And here we are, just, what was it, yesterday was 6 months of President Trump's his return to office as President, 47th president. Now, he has done an amazing job. There is no question about it. And he certainly has delivered some of the things that he said he would. He has done. They know they may only have 2 years to get all this done. So that's probably why the push is so dizzying. Anyways, I think he's done a terrific job. But as usual, Donald can get mucked up in the quagmire there now that he's got one story on one side, Tulsi Gabbard lifting him up. He's got the other side with Jeffrey Epstein pulling him down. Now, I don't think he thinks he's pulling him down, but it's a distraction. And anything that's a distraction is that. I thought it was most interesting that Mike Johnson came out and said, just release the files. That, I think, is one of the things that is most interesting. However, you cannot take away, for the first time, they have actually clawed back $9 billion. Now, admittedly, in the scheme of $37 trillion, that is a very small portion. But it is terrific, the fact that they have actually done it. I hope they continue what they're doing. All right. So that's This just keeps and I've got several texts here saying we're still suspicious. What's going on? What's going on? Don't you find it interesting that National Ice Cream Day was yesterday, and that was the 6 months of Donald Trump's presidency was on July 20th, and that was 6 months, and that corresponds with National Ice Cream Day. I find it interesting. All right, now, what time is it? Oh, yeah, I got to go ahead and finish up here today. Just a little housekeeping. We are not going to be doing any afternoon shows for the next 2 weeks. I need a little break. I'm sorry. I just need to clear my mind, make some changes. We've had some tremendous success with our live videos, so I hope you can understand that I just need a little break. Would like you to like and share, comment on our Facebook, though, our Facebook videos. If you do this, it helps me move up in the numbers, and on Facebook, it's all a metrics and all a numbers. Actually, one of the things that can wear you out, what can I do now? Facebook is constantly telling you if you do any of this kind of stuff, well, you fell 1%. What are you going to do about it? Here's what we suggest. Do this. Post more often. And you go, I post every day. Well, your posts aren't worth a crap is what I expect Facebook to say sometimes. Anyways, it's a game, and it's kind of fun, and it makes it interesting. So, but we are not going to be doing any afternoon shows for the next 2 weeks. So the next two, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, I am not doing a show. Morning show, yes, we will be doing the morning show. And tomorrow morning, I will be having Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett will be here to discuss her campaign, some of the response, and of course, I got a few questions that I want to ask her. And if you have a question, please do not hesitate. Please do not hesitate to text it or call and leave a message. 864-229-7984. That's 864-229-7984. Call and text, or call or text to that number. Or if you have a longer question and you want to write it in an email, you can send it to WCRS info. That's WCRSinfo@gmail.com. Okay. I do have a story. I'm sure I have something else I'm supposed to talk about. Let's see. No, we'll skip that. Okay. Yep. Okay, we are going to talk about this story. See, I didn't even talk about the Kiss Cam, how that guy has resigned his job up there, and Coldplay played, this weekend, and they said, all right, everybody, if your makeup's not ready, get your makeup ready. If you shouldn't be in the picture, sit down, get out of view, because we're going to be doing the Kiss Cam out there. So they've learned their lesson on putting that out there. So, here you go. This story, though, I thought is worthy to close out the show. I do want to note, the man who walked into the MRI room where the MRI was in process, we didn't have the details. So his wife was actually in there having an MRI. She asked the attendant in there to please go get her husband. I guess the attendant walked out there, asked her husband to come in, and the MRI machine was not off. And that's, I guess, when he approached the machine, that's what sucked him in. So what a horrible experience to have been laying there just completing an MRI. Your husband gets pulled into the machine because he's wearing a necklace, and now they say with a big heavy metal necklace and it had a padlock on it. He since has died. He had, I guess, several heart attacks from this. He since has died, and I'm sure there's going to be a huge investigation into that and how he got back there. But the bottom line is, I think other people listen to me. Why do you think that, Ann? Because all of a sudden everybody was talking about it, and I talked about it first before anybody else put this story out there. So, FYI, listen to the I Love Ann show right here on WCRS. Other people are. Shouldn't you be listening? There you go. All right, I want to end with this story because it is just so funny. Did you hear about the New York City rotisserie chicken eating contest? Did you hear about this contest? Yes, it's true. In New York City. And they did this, what, was it yesterday or this was on Sunday. Nearly 24 people gobbled up entire rotisserie chickens at a bizarre and messy Brooklyn sidewalk competition Sunday. And the winner washed down the poultry after that with an entire pizza pie. Now, why would you get a pizza after eating rotisserie chicken? The second annual rotisserie chicken eating contest, organized by a TikTok account called Old Jewish Men of New York. That's right, Old Jewish Men of New York. That's a TikTok account. Took place outside Roma Pizza and had attracted a crowd of onlookers on 7th Avenue who gawked at the 22 men and women chowing down on $4.99 bagged Costco birds. Well, you know, those are really good. Sam's are really good. You got to give them credit. So what they were doing was, it's the meat of the people. It's great because you can get it for $5. And he was there. He was a resident that was watching this as the Old Jewish Men of New York lifestyle brand was talking about this. This seems to be kind of a rotisserie chicken fandom in general. We've been making all these videos online, and people love rotisseries. That was one of the contestants that was one of the inspiration for it. One thing led to the next, and I feel like this was a logical next place to take it, to the streets of New York. They had sponsors like Antacid brand Quelix, next door neighbor Petco, and online betting apps Kashi for this year's event, though the SEC didn't approve of a chicken eating related bets in time. So they were betting on people, but the bets couldn't get into the SEC didn't approve it to be able to do it. At Costco, it's $5. It's an excellent price. People don't realize a rotisserie chicken can serve your whole family, said David Ruffle, a Brooklyn-based actor featured in Old Jewish Men of New York, who was sporting a T-shirt with a Costco barcode for the rotisserie chicken event. Now, the 73-year-old microbrewery celebrity even launched his own chicken show interview series on YouTube earlier this year, featuring the likes of New York City controller, local social media personality, and even former U.S. Representative Anthony Weiner. After a grueling 6 minutes and 44 seconds of gulp cramming, Far Rockaway resident Robert McGee was crowned the contestant champ, winning a golden chicken trophy, $500, and a piping hot cheese pie from Roma Pizza, which was right next door. He says he's going to put the money into his savings account, claiming that he prepared by eating a steady regimen of chicken wings all week. That's how he got prepared to win this competition. While he didn't beat last year's winner, Danny Morardi, record for finishing a bird at under 5 minutes, he did devour the pizza pie immediately afterwards. He said, "It might be the heat. The white meat I've heard was more intense this year, but they're all supposed to be standard." So anyways, that is what happened in New York City. A rotisserie chicken eating contest. What will they eat next? Don't tell me. But that's actually a pretty good one. And I wonder if Costco got involved in it. They should have, or did they supply the chickens? But 22 people scarfed down on rotisserie chicken. I tell you what, Penny and I could do a great job on that one. That's all I got to say. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. You are listening to WCRS. You are watching WCRS on WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM. Check it out. Check out our video. The thing I like about doing the Facebook Live is immediately afterwards, you can go back and see what happened on the show. If you got a question or a comment, please don't hesitate to let me know. 864-229-7984. That's 864-229-7984. So that's where we're at. This is what's happening. It's Monday, another week. It's going to be a hot one. Stay cool. Think about your pets out there. Make sure that you have plenty of cool water out there. I talk about this almost every day. Do want to make sure that you take care of your pets. Do not leave them out there with no escape from the heat. They've got to have some shade. That, my friends, is going to do it for me. Have a great day. You are listening and watching WCRS right here in Greenwood, South Carolina. Bye-bye, everybody. That's a wrap. Penny goes, well, it's about time. Can we get outside so you can be running around the field taking care of me? I am the most important thing in your life. Well, sort of. All right, take it away. That'll do it for me. Bye-bye, everybody.
Keep on sharing. The phones are open.
Keep on laughing.
Give us a call.
You gotta keep on caring. As long as you've got a voice.